This is PRIME7 Local News with Madeleine Collignon, Kenny Hinkley and meteorologist Carl Linders with your local weather. Now, PRIME7 Local News at 6.
Tonight, a brazen theft at a service station car wash captured on CCTV.
The battle over baby formula hits the aisles of Wagga's shops and supermarkets.
The latest phase of the $3 million stock centre upgrade opens for business.
And a chill is in the air for Tuesday. Details coming up next.
Good evening. Maddie is away this week. I'm Liz Gwynn. Careless thieves have targeted a Lake Albert business twice in 1 week.
The owner of the service station and car wash says she's sickened by the balaclava-clad thieves who used angle grinders to steal cash from machines. He's sharing CCTV vision of the theft to help identify the culprits.
In the cover of darkness, a man in a hoodie with his face covered approaches a car wash coin machine. He glances up at the security camera, then reaches into his backpack and pulls out a battery-powered angle grinder. He only takes off with a small amount of cash, but has cost the business hundreds, if not thousands of dollars in damage.
It's pretty disappointing for us, a small little business, just trying to make way, and it's more so the destructiveness of the site. Puts us out for a week going forward.
3 nights later, another pair working together targeted other machines nearby, also using an angle grinder to slice them open. The owner of Lake Village Service Station and Car Wash is waiting on replacement parts to fix the damage. He says the thieves' selfish act could have created a much bigger danger.
Where we fill the fuel tank is metres away, so it could have been disastrous. The sparks off the grinder could have caused an explosion, and it could have been a dead set tragedy, really.
Wagga Police seized the CCTV footage this morning and are investigating the incidents.
We can't do much about it, unfortunately, except for show up the next day and get on with it, and hopefully they get caught and get punished accordingly.
Anyone who may have witnessed suspicious activity should contact Wagga Police. Sarah Naven, PRIME7 News.
The battle over baby formula has come to Wagga. Australian-made formula can sell for 3 times its value in China, which has seen many Chinese Australians clearing shelves here. It's led to shops imposing limits, which in turn has led to confrontation in the aisles.
A confrontation over baby formula in Big W on Saturday ended with a customer shoving tins of the product at a staff member. The store has a limit of 2 cans per customer per day due to demand. People who abuse the system have upset parents like Kirstie Brown, who often finds herself racing around the city trying to find the formula her 5-month-old needs.
Oh, it's so stressful, especially when you know you've got to get home and you probably only have maybe enough to fill 2 bottles left, not enough to get through the night.
Due to supply issues, Woolworths has also reduced its limit from 4 to 2 cans per customer. Limitations in supermarkets are to stop the on-sell of baby formula overseas. There's a huge demand in China, with Aussie products marketed as safe and clean. Mum of twins Carly Shepherd has lived in China and seen the huge demand for Australian formula firsthand.
Some manufacturers of products are primarily interested in profit over quality of product. So there have been deaths of young babies over there because the formula's just been filled with a whole bunch of nasties.
As a mum of multiples, Miss Shepherd goes through 12 tins a month. She's able to buy formula online straight from the manufacturer to avoid empty shelves and hungry babies. Brands can't be easily swapped as it can cause upset tummies. Parents hope to see more done to address supply issues.
I understand the reasonings behind it, but then I feel sorry for the mums that are on the farms that have to come in and they're only able to get 2 at a time.
Sarah Naven, PRIME7 News.
A man and woman have been extradited from Victoria, charged with drug supply in the Riverina. Sarah Naven is at Wagga Police Station, where officers have been investigating the case as part of Strike Force Bruchhauser. Sarah, what have the pair been charged with?
Kenny, the 36-year-old man and 32-year-old woman have both been charged with supplying large commercial quantities of a prohibited drug and dealing with proceeds of crime with intent to conceal. Police stopped a vehicle on the Hume Highway at Goulburn on October 21st. They allegedly seized $10,000 in cash and methamphetamines during a search of the vehicle. The pair were released pending further inquiries. A warrant was then issued for their arrest and they've been refused bail in Albury Local Court to reappear on December 20 in Wagga Local Court.
Thanks, Sarah. Sarah Navin there.
GURWOOD Street was briefly closed off this afternoon after a pedestrian was hit by a car outside Woolworths. A woman in her 50s was knocked to the ground when a car backed out onto the street just before 1 p.m. The driver of the vehicle sat with the woman until paramedics arrived. Traffic was blocked off for approximately 30 minutes while the woman was attended to. She sustained minor injuries and was transported to the Rural Referral Hospital for treatment.
A $3 million redevelopment of the Livestock Marketing Centre is nearing completion. The new undercover cattle shed is now fully operational, with 88 new pens able to hold well over 5,000 cattle.
6:30, what do you want to do? 6:40, down on the stairs, 50.
Getting down to business, auctioneers test the new undercover cattle shed at Wagga's Livestock Marketing Centre. The new shed has 88 new pens, which will now be able to hold a total of over 5,500 head of cattle.
We can handle a lot more cattle than we ever have been able to. The facility's getting better and better all the time.
The undercover cattle shed is the first stage of a $3 million expansion to improve efficiency and safety. 2 raised walkways will now allow auctioneers and buyers the ability to overlook pens.
The new calf shed behind us has created another marketing point for us and another little bit of an advantage over some other facilities by incorporating modern technology.
Last year, a staggering $428 million worth of sheep and cattle was sold here. The latest sheep and lamb figures from Meat and Livestock Australia show Wagga is the #1 selling centre in Australia and the world. Due to the large amount of livestock coming in and out of the facility, it's no wonder it's been labelled the top selling spot in the world. Each week, 8 agency companies draw buyers from across Australia and the world.
If we focus on product integrity of what we're doing and making sure that we provide the best environment for the livestock, that can possibly result in the greatest return for our cockies, and that's what it's about.
The expansion works are set to be completed by the end of the month. Caitlin Tugakino, PRIME7 News.
Cheap flu shots have been blamed for Australia's worst outbreak of the flu. The deadly outbreak was responsible for the death of 8 elderly people at St John's Retirement Village in Wangaratta in September. The victims were among more than 200 Australians who contracted the flu this year, twice as many as the previous record in 2015. Doctors are now blaming the $6 million budget version of the flu vaccine. According to the Immunisation Coalition, the government chose the cheap shot version, even though it did not work as well on the elderly. Tomorrow marks the 100th anniversary of the Battle of BEERSHEEBA, famed for the famous charge of an Australian Light Horse Brigade. On the 31st of October 1917, 800 Australians charged directly into machine gun fire with just bayonets drawn. The Light Horsemen from the 4th and 12th Regiments heroically turned the tide of the battle, charging into the town and capturing the garrison. It's one of Australia's most famous World War I victories. A commemorative service to honour the Light Horsemen will take place on the steps of Wagga RSL at 4:30 tomorrow. It's time for a check of the weather with Carl Linders.
Carl is back on deck, that's right. So, mate, after a beautiful weekend, things have cooled down a little bit.
They've cooled down a lot, Kenny. Definitely a winter chill in the air. Hello, everybody. Nice to be back. Temperatures today, 18 degrees at Junee, 20 at Narrandera. But this afternoon, with a burst of showers, we got down to 12 degrees with a few rumbles of thunder at Wagga. Griffith had the same, but not much in the way of rainfall. Certainly a very chilly night on the way, courtesy of this low-pressure system and a lot of cold air filtering through this evening. Very dry though, so not much in the way of rainfall totals. We can see the radar showing that cold front moving through this morning, and then the apparent temperature dropped with these line of showers pushing through at 2:30, and another one came through at around 3:30, 4 o'clock. But it's drying out for the week. What's it holding? I'll tell you in 20 minutes, guys. Liz, thank you for the week. I'll see you soon.
Yeah, no worries, man. See you soon. Thanks.
Still to come in Prime 7 News, all the fun of the annual Teddy Bears picnic.
And local government leaders take the time out to listen to the leaders of tomorrow. And at 6:30, Malcolm Turnbull in Israel commemorating the Battle of Beersheba and the Australian heroes who fought to save the town a century ago. Julie Bishop is acting PM as the polls continue to favour Labor. And doctors are blaming a cheap vaccine for our worst flu season on record. All that and more at 6:30.
Stay in touch 24/7 with Prime 7 News.
The team, which will manage the Wagga branch of Can Assist, a support service for cancer patients, will be chosen tonight. The decision to reopen a Wagga office was prompted by John Nixon, who battled bowel cancer 6 years ago and is now helping his son, who has bowel cancer and liver cancer. Mr Nixon received support through Can Assist in Temora and wants patients in Wagga to have the same support. A meeting will be held tonight to welcome new members and appoint a president.
We're all being urged to destroy all old documents containing personal information, with identity theft affecting a staggering 5% of Australians. A giant shredder was wheeled out in Sydney to help the cause.
Politicians are used to a public shredding, so naturally they weren't missing an opportunity to wheel out this mobile document destroyer.
Right across Australia, over $2.2 billion is lost because of identity theft, and in fact it affects about 5% of all Australians.
Consumers seize the chance to crush old confidential documents.
And these are your tax returns from when? 1991.
The stunt marks the start of Fair Trading Week, which raises awareness about identity crime.
This is about encouraging people to dispose of their sensitive information, their personal details, in a safe and secure manner.
Simple statements can be a big risk in the wrong hands.
Old credit card statements, insurance policies and any other information.
The state government has also announced the appointment of a new Fair Trading Commissioner.
Putting consumers first has always been a big passion of mine, and so this is a really exciting opportunity for me.
Serena Nastasi, Prime 7 News.
Teddy bears didn't go down to the woods at the weekend. Instead, they opted for a day out at Collins Park in Wagga. Bears of all shapes and sizes paraded in the annual Teddy Bears picnic, which raises funds for Ronald McDonald House. Prizes were given to the best dressed bear, most loved teddy and the biggest and smallest furry friends. The bears and their owners also enjoyed an afternoon of dancing, face painting, bubbles and lawn games.
Wagga City Council today conducted extensive workshops for young adults to better understand and address issues that they face. It was designed to engage the leaders of tomorrow and provide services and support relevant to them.
It's not often councils stop to listen, but today Wagga City Council was all ears, listening to the concerns of young adults in a forum at Charles Sturt University.
Instead of sort of telling them what they want or telling them how things should be, I think we're taking it right back to the start and going to them direct and getting their voice heard so we can have a direction forward.
We are the future of Wagga, and if we don't get input, then it's not going to be suited to what we need.
In small groups of 7, youth were able to lead discussions and brainstorm different topics put forward by council. Standouts were discussions about more youth-led events in the community, like music festivals, as well as more jobs for youth and leadership positions in the community. Feedback from the forum highlights the need for youth to be more engaged in council decisions, particularly decisions relating to community events, employment opportunities and transport strategies.
If the council takes these discussions on board and they get all this good knowledge that we've been able to give today, then they'll really be able to see what young people want and then hopefully get that happening years down the track.
The feedback from the forum will be collected and key findings will be presented to Council. An online survey is also open to youth who are unable to participate in community workshops through the Council website. Caitlin Tukakino, PRIME7 News.
Wagga's McDonald's franchisee owner is pumping the pedals for charity, cycling all the way from Perth to Sydney. In support of Ronald McDonald House, Tony Achinger is undertaking the Nullarbor 4000 and was joined by Wagga cyclists as he passed through the city yesterday. The fundraising total has so far reached $270,000. It will go to giving the families of sick children a home away from home when receiving medical treatment. Mr Achinger will reach the Westmead Children's Hospital on Wednesday at about 2 a.m.
Still to come in PRIME7 News, the long road back for Brandon DEMMERY after his horror crash at Phillip Island.
And stormy weather frustrates our cricketers as the one-day competition swings into gear. Wagga motocross rider Brandon DEMMERY is facing a long road back after his horror accident at Phillip Island. Doctors have ordered the 20-year-old to spend the next 3 months in a wheelchair after he veered across the track and was run over by 3 different competitors at Phillip Island. DEMMERY has undergone 2 rounds of reconstructive surgery at the Royal Alfred Hospital in Melbourne after suffering several fractures in his legs, multiple breaks in his pelvis and a broken wrist. A GoFundMe page has been set up to help the DEMMERY family support Brandon on his road to recovery. To cricket now, and Saturday's stormy afternoon certainly put a dampener on Wagga City's match against the South City Blues. The Cats appeared to be heading for another win before a washout ended the match in a draw.
Wagga City has been the team to beat heading into the first round of the one-day season after an undefeated run in the 2020. But a washout match on Saturday brought the Cats' winning streak to a grinding halt.
Yeah, got a little bit of rain late in the day, kind of stopped us from getting over the line. Only had 8 runs to get off about 60-odd balls, so it's pretty disappointing not to play a few minutes longer or whatever and try and get a result.
Chasing the South Wagga Blues total of 150, Wagga City were only 9 runs short of a victory. According to captain Josh Thompson, better fielding might have led to a win.
If we had held those catches and maybe bowled them out a bit quicker, we might have made up for those 8 runs that we didn't chase down. But I think we batted really well. I think we batted very quickly.
But a washout for the Cats was a saviour for the Blues. Winning the toss, they managed 150 for 10, opening batsman Mark Shepherd proving dangerous with an early 50, before he was bowled out by Mitch Cooley. The draw means the clubs will share points. Wagga City made 6 for 142 before the game was called off.
As we could see the rain coming and tried to hurry it up, but I think probably next time won't do that, probably keep wickets in hand. I think goes towards a percentage at the end of the comps.
Next week, Wagga City take on St Michael's and the Blues will step up against Wagga RSL at the Wagga Cricket Ground. Samantha Costin, PRIME7 News.
And wrapping up the weekend's results, Wagga RSL fell 3 runs short in their pursuit of Lake Albert's 6-4-113. Wagga City drew with South Wagga. The one-day season finally kicked off on Friday night when the Kooringal Colts beat St Michael's in a high-scoring affair under lights. An unbeaten 90 from Will Morley saw them comfortably reach their target of 175 with 5 overs to spare. A major women's rugby league tournament in the Riverina has been postponed. The 6-week Tackled Nines competition was originally supposed to kick off on Saturday, but it's been rescheduled with a start date of November 25. Country Rugby League made the decision to delay the comp's start to allow more women to sign up. If you're interested in having a run, you could contact Dennis Moran from CRL New South Wales via email. Well, a bit of a shake-up in our temperatures on the way. Some cool air is arriving. Stay with us. Carl is back on deck this week and has all the details for us next.
For a closer look at the weather forecast, we're joined once again by Carl Lindis.
So, Carl, a couple of showers around tonight, but are they going to be back tomorrow?
No, we're drying out, Kenny, and we've got a settled period of weather across the region, courtesy of high pressure that's moving in from the Great Australian Bight. It's going to be slow to move through, though, because we've got a low pressure system forming off the east coast. That's going to block things up for at least 24 hours or so. As you can see, it spins towards the coast. Meanwhile, over our part of the world, dry weather right through the week. By Friday, we'll have a cloud band, though, starting to work its way through, and it's hard to determine what's going to happen with that cloud band at this stage. I'm forecasting patchy rain and storms to develop from Friday and then increase by the end of the weekend. As you can see, it does gradually become warmer and more humid and unsettled as we go through the outlook. As you can also see, the rain is contracting to the north, a dry and quieter week throughout our part of the world, which is kind of welcome after what has been a very busy fortnight of weather through the region. Cooler, 20 degrees tomorrow for you in Wagga. We're looking at temperatures in the low 20s throughout. Some local frost also possible in that northeastern corner, quite unseasonal, and temperatures through the day. Lovely. And a southwesterly wind regime that will persist through most of Wednesday as well. That high pressure system takes a step back, so we'll have some afternoon cloud with that southwesterly wind freshening up a bit. And in the southeast, again, the risk of some frost around in the early morning. Thursday, though, the sun will be out from dawn till dusk. We've got light winds tending northeasterly. The high will move to the south, and temperatures in the far north and west will become above average, 27 degrees for you in West Wyalong, and a beautiful day to get out and about. We'll have cloud, though, developing through on on Friday with some late rain possible there. Again, very ambiguous, unsure what we're going to see on the weekend, but I have more details through the week, guys. Some cloud and some rain around for the weekend. But look, sunny days through the working week. We'll start with that.
I saw some lovely photos this morning of a dusting of snow up in the higher ground of Victoria.
At the same time, 35 degrees in Sydney today, so it's quite a lot of weather around.
That's hot.
It is.
Thanks, guys.
See you guys.
See ya.
And that's all of the local news for tonight. You can discuss tonight's stories on Facebook.
And also catch tonight's top stories on our website. Don't go away. I'll be back with Prime 7 News at 6:30 next.